Hello and thanks for joining me for another folding knife review. This is the latest addition to my collection of Case knives. It's the Sway Back Gent and I'm loving it. I think it's one of Case's most elegant designs, possibly even their most elegant knife design. Just beautiful in so many ways. So what we're going to do, we're going to change this camera angle, get it in hand, give you guys a good look all over this one. Stick around, back in a moment. Okay, so the Case Sway Back Gent. Before we get into the knife, we'll just have a quick look at the box and just explain a few things about the Case knives. This is model number, or pattern number 61117. Now, what does all that mean? Well, let's have a look at the box and I'll show you. This is the box it comes in, nicely packaged cardboard box, it's got paper wrapping inside. And if you look very carefully, you'll see that number I was talking about just there. Now, what that means on the Case system is that 6 tells you that it's got bone handle scales. The next digit, the 1, tells you it's a single bladed knife. The 117 is the pattern number or design of the knife. The SS means that this particular one has stainless steel blade. You can see the model name there, as we said, the Sway Back Gent, and sky blue, that's giving you the colour of this particular jig bone handles. So that's what you should see on the outside of a box. If you're ever looking at one of these in a shop, that's what it's going to tell you. We might, before we get into it, look at some of the other markings you'll see on a Case knife, and most importantly will be on the blade. You should see the Case symbol there, and you'll see some other markings. Now, notable on this one is you'll see not so much what's there but what's missing. There's a dot missing from between those stars. That tells you that this particular knife was manufactured in 2011. On the other side of the blade you've got USA, and I can't really read the rest of that. It's extremely difficult to read. It's got the pattern number, and there we go, SS. That is very hard to read. But that's what you should see on a genuine article Case knife. Alright, so the Sway Back Gent. This particular model is in sky blue, as just discussed. Now, interestingly enough, this is, well, they're jig bone, they're all jig bone, which basically means that the bone has a pattern that's been put into a machine. This particular pattern is called the Rogers jigging pattern. You can see on this one what I really adore about it. It's got the Case scroll inlaid in it, brass rivets, silver nickel bolsters. It's all beautifully finished, of course, and as always with these jig bone handles, you see the range of colours. What's interesting about this one is when we flip it over, the colour's very different, much darker on the other side. Not sure why that is, but it certainly gives this particular knife a little bit of interest. Don't know if they all come that way, but the colours are really nice. I do like the look of the design very much. It is a perfect Gent CDC knife in my opinion. It's small, it's light, slim, compact, and just oozes elegance for mine. As with most Case knives, it's a non-locking design, so it is a slip joint. And when opened up, it looks kind of weird because that's your actual cutting edge there. It's a Wharncliffe blade, and it's got that sort of signature design to it, which is possibly why they call it a Sway Back Gent. I don't know the history of it, I wasn't able to find out, but in the hand, yes, I'm a lefty, sorry about that, but in the hand it actually feels very natural. Looks kind of strange when you look at it. You'd almost expect that the blade should be around that way, but it sits like that and it works, it's nice. Very small knife as mentioned. The size of this thing opened, as it sits there, is 5 7/16 of an inch or 179 millimeters. If we close the knife up, it then comes down to 3 1/8 of an inch or 80 millimeters. And the blade on this one, little full flat ground Wharncliffe, the cutting edge on it, so down to back to around about there, out to your tip, cutting edge on that is just a little bit under 2 inches, about 50 millimeters. So not a big knife at all. It's a two-hand opener, as you would have just seen, so you've got a nail nick there and you will need it. It's not enough blade exposed to pinch between thumb and forefinger, so you'll need that nail nick to get the blade out. Nice little lock up for what it is. A slip joint, there's no movement or anything like that, and it's a very good quality slip joint. It's got a half stop safety there, a very positive detent. You can see that's holding really nicely, and then it clicks away beautifully. Good in-handle retention. As you can see there, or hopefully you might be able to see there, we'll put a bit more light on it perhaps. It is nicely centered in the handle, so the quality manufacture is very good. You probably also can see that the brass liners shine around, typical Case, and they give a lovely contrast with those coloured handles. There's no clip, of course. It's a traditional pocket knife, so it's obviously ambidextrous by nature, although of course us lefties do have to put it in the other hand to use that nail nick, which is a little bit annoying, but we can forgive it because it's a really nice knife. Size of it, well, as mentioned, quite small. We'll just do a little size comparison with some other common knives. The first one we'll look at is another Case offering, which is the, what is this called? The mini lockback, I believe it is, and which suddenly looks quite gigantic by comparison. That little knife there. I've got a Boca to roll in. This is an Elegance lockback, and again, looks quite large by comparison. And a knife that most people might be familiar with. This is a Victorinox Cadet, and this is probably the best one to compare it to. So close size there, just run down and have a bit of a closer look at those. Not dissimilar. The thickness of the two knives, comparable. Obviously the Victorinox has got a lot more tools in it. If we were to open those out to show the open length, it's not a bad comparison, those two. Alright, so just give that a little wipe off so we can see it properly. Wind that camera back. And just give you guys a close-up of everything on it. The strange thing is, of course, the Case scroll, when the knife's held this way, cutting edge down, appears upside down, which is kind of weird. But that's okay. Really is a very nice little knife. I see this as being an ideal thing for perhaps gent's knife, as mentioned, or maybe even a dress knife. It'll be a great little knife for ladies in their purse. It's certainly not a confronting or aggressive looking knife, but it's good quality. It's got lots and lots of old world charm, and it's just a really nice design. Something just a little bit classy. I'll put that down there. So as mentioned, that's the latest in my ever-growing collection of Case knives. I do tend to favour the single blades. The vast majority of Case tend to have multiple blades in them, but there's something for me about the simplicity of a single blade old style slick joint that's it's just got a real charm to it that I find myself drawn to. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the look at that Case knife, and maybe you'll consider buying some of these. It's a nice change from the more tactical modern knives. Take it easy. All the best, guys. Bye for now.